April 20, 1925, suburb of Vienna, Austria, a woman jumped from the roof of a hotel. It was Hisa, the first Japanese woman to become a professional pianist. Why did she choose that? Let's take a look at her life. She was born in 1886, a wealthy family in Shiga Prefecture. When she was 3 years old, she fell on the stairs and hurt her leg. Since then, she began to limp. She was often bullied because of it. When Hisa was still very young, her parents died one after another. Fortunately, Hisa had an older brother. Hisa and her brother were taken in by her uncle in Kyoto. Because of her bad leg, she couldn't work outside the house, but Hisa had to be independent for living, so they made Hisa learn music. It was ancient Japanese music. She practiced playing the drums and the flute. But there was something boring about it. Hisa had a strong temper by nature. Just sitting there beating the drums was boring. She wanted to put more emotion into things. Hisa's brother thought about it, and he found a school that looked interesting, the Tokyo School of Music, which had just opened. Let's send Hisa there. Her brother was attending Tokyo University at the time, so he invited Hisa to Tokyo. Hisa entered the Tokyo School of Music. Nowadays, this school is known as a very difficult school to enter. Hisa touched various musical instruments for the first time. These instruments came from the West: violin, piano, trumpet, and many others. After considering the aptitude of each, a major was decided. Hisa was selected to study the piano, but she was terrible at it, so she was soon advised to leave the school. But Hisa loved playing the piano. She felt like she was destined to play it. She really wanted to continue. So she asked them on her knees. The professor said okay. Her teacher was Nobu. Nobu had studied music in America and Austria. Such a person was very rare in those days. She was someone who knew the real classical music. From the day she was able to avoid expulsion, Hisa began practicing hard. Even on the coldest winter day, she continued to play without a break. Her fingertips cracked and the keys were covered with blood. People around her advised her to rest, but she didn't. She said the following to them: "If others practice 10, I practice 100. When others rest, I practice, just like Floyd Mayweather Jr." Those days of intense practice paid off. The audience was stunned at the concert. Even her teacher Nobu had to admit it. Only 10 years after starting to play the piano, Hisa became an instructor at her school. She began teaching young students. But Hisa was not a good teacher. All the students were scared. Her fingers were bleeding, her hair was always shaggy, her clothes were always messy, and she walked with a limp. Moreover, the teaching methods were insane. But as a performer, she steadily gained a reputation. Especially her Beethoven was divine. Around this time, Hisa began to feel a little dazed. In 1915, she was hit by a car. She was in critical condition for a while, but miraculously recovered. Even in the hospital, she kept her fingers moving. When she resumed her activities, Hisa's reputation as a pianist grew even more. Then an expert said Hisa would be good enough to play in Europe. And another expert said, no, she is only Japanese, she would not be good in Europe. Hisa was certainly one of the best pianists in Japan, but who knew if she could make it in Europe? The government of the time was committed to westernizing Japan, not only in politics, industry, and military affairs, but also in culture and the arts. That's why the top pianist in Japan should also be accepted in Europe. One day, a high-ranking government official came to her, "Go to Europe and play the piano." That's what he told her. But Hisa had no ambition. She was satisfied with her situation in Japan. She could play the piano as much as she wanted and got praised for it. That was enough. But Hisa had no choice but to obey, because the music school was a state institution. She went to Berlin. The journey took 3 months. Of course, it was her first time in Europe. She was impressed by everything she saw, and she listened to authentic music. It was very moving. I'm glad I came, Hisa thought. The next year she moved to Vienna. There was someone she really wanted to see. It was Mr. Sauer. He was an excellent pianist and composer. She visited him and showed him her play. She played Beethoven in front of Mr. Sauer. When Hisa finished, he applauded, because he didn't think a Japanese person could play so well, and he promised to give her lessons. My piano has been recognized even in the authentic place. She thought so and soared. All she could imagine was success in Europe. The first day of lesson, Sauer told Hisa, "Your way of playing is not right. Let's practice from the fundamentals." Hisa was the top pianist in Japan, but here he told her to start with the basics. Her pride was broken. One thing was sure, she actually had a rather unique way of playing the piano. Maybe Sauer just wanted to correct that. Some time later, just outside of Vienna, Hisa jumped to her death from a hotel rooftop. The place Beethoven had died, she had admired so much. When she was found, she was dressed in a kimono, and her legs were bound. This was to prevent her legs from opening after death. She wanted a beautiful death. We can see her strong will. What were the cause of her suicide? It is still unclear to this day. Was it despair over the ability? Was it the pressure of studying abroad? Or maybe she was ill. Because of the strange playing style, her fingers were quite damaged. Some said they were so swollen that she couldn't play the piano. That could have been the cause of her suicide. That is her short life story of 38 years. How do you feel about it? Please leave your comments. Thank you for watching until the end. I'll be very happy if you like this video and subscribe to my channel. See you the next time.